And then there are so many other manga that I've read that have not been animated, but I was reincarnated as a vending machine animated for some reason. Like, bro, what the hell? And don't take it from me. There are literally other mangaka who are complaining about this happening, by the way, which I will put up here for you to check out.
Yeah, for sure. America, when's the last time a really good movie came out?
He did it to himself. What the heck?
I know, that's why. I hate that.
I think we need to do some acceptance therapy. You need to accept the things that are part of your human body, including your lips. Welcome to another video on Afro King Media with the usual suspects, where everything we talk about is fact, of course. Today we're going to talk about, I forgot what the topic was.
I'm still trying to figure out where that thing's been. And for some reason it keeps getting closer and closer to me, and I don't know why.
I don't know why you're afraid. If I want to put something freaky near you, I have some shit in the room already.
Oh.
Like, I don't need to use my cosplay props.
No. I'm not trying to test your gangster here, okay? Wow.
Has anime become too commercialized to take creative risks? Now, the reason why I thought this would be something that should be talked about more often is because I believe that the stories that are talked about in anime are, in my opinion, becoming too repetitive. And at first I wanted to hold back on talking about this subject because it could be that, people are just watching the same genre of anime. Like, people complain about anime stories being repetitive, only watch shonen, right? I don't only watch shonen. I've watched, and I still continue to watch a variety of genres when it comes to anime. And so that's why I have the opinion that because of the success in anime, especially becoming commercialized on a worldwide scale, due to the culture of capitalism and companies wanting to always make a percentage more than what they made in the past, they are wanting to take less risk and more so follow a pattern that leads to growth. And I believe that pattern is what is keeping them from wanting to make creative stories, because a lot of the stories that we grew up on were created as like initial stories, if that makes sense. I mean, like Naruto was getting inspiration from Dragon Ball, for example.
Yeah, almost everything's gonna find some inspiration, so that's not a problem. But Jujutsu Kaisen is just Naruto.
Yeah, it's like
main character, demon inside them, marks on the face.
Like Black Clover came out, and the first thing I thought about is like, okay, this is like Bleach and Fairy Tail put together, or even Naruto. Like they had like I almost said I don't even know where that came from.
It's the staff, bro. It's giving you the wrong type of power.
The staff is,
it's giving you the wrong type of powers, bro.
Wow. I'm gonna keep the hat. You heard that? Due to companies chasing profits, and companies chasing profits ruins a lot of different aspects of like people's culture or even favorite TV shows or even like public spaces. I think capitalism can ruin, or chasing profits can ruin aspects of that. And I think anime is one thing where that is taking place, not in every story, but I think the dawn of isekai and how often it's been coming out is a symptom of that. Because it was so profitable for them to just continuously release isekai. That's why we get so much of it. Whereas these animation companies could have been investing into animating actual new stories.
Yeah.
Like we should have gotten a remake of Dead Man Wonderland a long time ago. Dead Man Wonderland was such a goated ass story, bro.
Yeah, the manga's really good too.
I finished that manga. I was like, let me see. One day I was like, let me see if they finish this story, because I'm still in my era of reading manga and manhwa. And bro, I was like, whoa, they finished it. And bro, I'm like, I'm like, what was the excuse for not finishing animating that story? And then there are so many other manga that I've read that have not been animated, but I was reincarnated as a vending machine animated for some reason. Like, bro, what the hell? And don't take it from me. There are literally other mangaka who are complaining about this happening, by the way, which I will put up here for you to check out.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'd say that's my reasoning for this hot take on why I believe the more commercialized anime become, I'd say the less I won't say that there aren't creative stories being created, but it's more so the ones that are being animated. But eventually, in turn, that would probably coax people to not want to create creative stories anymore if they don't think it's profitable. Like, some people won't be artists because it's something that they can't immediately make money off of. Like, some people will go work in the plants here in Houston, Texas, rather than chasing their dream of becoming an artist.
I think that, well, to finish off what you were saying there, that last sentence, a lot of people in general just like more comfortability. They're not everybody takes risks.
They want certainty, right?
It takes certainty is more comfortable. You can see a path that's laid out, and that the same can go for anime. That you see that it's something that has worked before, right? We take isekai for an example. I stopped watching isekai animes because I have watched so many of them to where it just is the same stuff. But it's profitable. I mean, I know in one of our other videos we were saying isekai is pretty much like the fast food of anime. It's so easy to get that sitting in the kitchen and actually cooking up a good story, it takes too long. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that it's bad, but it takes like long to the point to where some people would rather just, you know, random guy that was a loser in real life, now he's the GOAT, and put him around a bunch of women, and then everybody's going to want to be that guy. And you got to also look at the people that are consuming the shows, where most of the anime is not going to be for Westerners, even though it does get global. Some of them do. Primarily, like, somebody doesn't make an anime and think that it's going to be the new Naruto. Like, some people might hope so, but it's primarily Japanese based off of what they're growing up with and what they're going through. And I mean, we talked about the other video, incel culture, and how that is, and how big that is, especially in Japan. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of those guys probably don't like the way their life has gone out so far. They see another guy that was similar to them that they can relate to, that gets teleported into this new world, and you know what I mean? So I can see why it's famous, I guess. But
it almost feels like the genre of like reincarnation animes or regression animes, whether you're an old man and you regress back into a child or young teen because you have regrets. It almost feels like the author is exposing himself and what he feels, which is okay, but it's like, bro, how many more stories? We get it.
But in general, isekais are going to continue to come out just because it's the fast food of anime. Like I've said before, it's easy to make, and it's going to have people. It's going to have an immediate fan base depending on the way the characters look. The story is like an afterthought at this point in time. However, where I can disagree with in general is, I think, and maybe I just watch a lot of anime, so you can just call me a weeaboo or whatever the hell. I think that anime has some of the most diverse themes in media in general. When you look at stuff like we can look at America, when's the last time a really good movie has came out? Most movies Sinners. Before Sinners, what?
I like The Creator.
Creator was all right. You're talking about the stuff.
Yeah, the sci-fi stuff, AI, and
still Asian based, anyways.
Was it? It was an Asian author?
No, I don't think it was an Asian author, but I know that it took place in Asia, and it had Tarashi Gakko actually perform a song.
I believe it did, yeah, because at one point I think he went to China, I believe.
Somewhere.
Because I think his girlfriend was like Asian, I believe. I don't remember what
his girlfriend
part.
was Asian. The kid that they made, Nirmata, was Asian. The whole thing
Blasian.
was Blasian. But a lot of movies nowadays that you see, I think people in Hollywood, they're not as creative as they were before.
Hell no.
Because
we don't even
you're
watch
seeing
the movies that often because ain't none of it's
Scream
like...
is at, what, 7 now, and people don't even watch that one, but like the basis of the Scream movie is just...
Like, how many more remakes until y'all realize y'all need to try something new? We got people, they have to do like these startups to, and like the Amazing Digital Circus, that was entirely crowdfunded. Like they just released episodes at their own pace as they got funding in order to animate it. That's how bad it is. That these companies care so much about profits that they won't try to give these other authors a shot at expressing their own stories through their company.
Yeah.
And hell, and I think Cartoon Network, lost a lot of money due to that because they canceled Steven Universe whenever they started incorporating a lot of the, I guess, same gender,
more of the
same sex, LGBTQ friendly stories and themes. They dropped it because they were like, nah, we're too conservative for this. We don't want to boys. And I'm like, bro. And then it still did amazing, by the way.
But to egg on to that point, we said Sinners, but there's not really another movie. I mean, there probably is, but it's very far and in between. I can't remember another movie that I sat there and watched that's just like American. I'm using American, for example, because obviously we live here, we are it. So this is what I've grown up watching. I can't remember you don't get that many Remember the Titans.
And when we say like a good movie, it's like we have plenty of movies that you might find on the #1 list on Netflix, but it's not something that's known worldwide.
We're talking about like iconic, like people outside of the country are talking about Sinners because it was that good. Or like I said, Remember the Titans or something like that. Something that's very like gives you that emotional, like, what do you call it? Hell, we're not even getting anything new like The Equalizer or something. I don't know, like just something. And like we're getting another Shrek movie. I don't know why we even have this many Saw movies, and bro was dead 2 movies ago. And they still milked out 2 more movies from it. It's like there's not that much originality where I can give anime a little bit of grace in that instance. Is there's new anime out every season. Like every year there's going to be a handful of something you've never seen before.
Every season. There's 4 seasons in a year.
Every season. So not even every year, every season there is brand new anime coming out. And yeah, while you can sit here and be like, at some of those animes will be
handful of isekai
and stuff like that, you can look at some animes like one that's really recent, Dan. What has came out that's kind of like
nothing like Dan.
You know, that's dealing with aliens and also yokai and stuff like that. Like now obviously there has been some shows and some media that has dealt with that, but how they've done it, you know what I'm saying? Like there's always something different. Even like Spy X Family a couple of years ago or something like that. Like it's so much different. And I could even use Demon Slayer for an example. There's been Swords shows that came out before, and you can see where they've drawn some inspiration, but within the story, within the period and how the story was told, it's different. You know what I'm saying? So I could say that at the same time to argue that fact that I think that anime probably has some of the most diverse themes you've ever seen. I mean,
I can agree with that.
I think that recently it hasn't been as diverse as it was back then, but I think that back then they were a little bit more like Serial Experiments Lane and all that. It was a little bit more.
I think we talked about this in a previous video where they stopped getting as political as they were before.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I think getting commercialized is a part of that because
of course.
I'm pretty sure a lot of these companies that sponsor these animation companies or even let them be sold on Netflix are letting them do that as long as they don't go past critiquing certain aspects of, let's say, a form of running our government.
Now, not to get shows are like that. That's why some shows are banned in certain countries, being Russia, America, or what do you call it? Some shows you deadass can't watch unless you go on a backhanded site or something like that to watch it.
Now, as someone who grew up in the US, I grew up watching American cartoons, and when I discovered anime, I dropped it. For the streets, because the way that the Japanese were telling anime stories in anime and it wasn't like it was new. You can go read a book and find these stories, but they were being animated, bro. And me as a kid thinking that it's just gonna be some kids cartoon, and then I'm watching like
I got surprised.
Erica 7 on Adult Swim or Evangelion on Adult Swim, Naruto.
I got surprised
on a Toonami. It's like my entire world changed. I'm like, no, cartoons aren't just for kids, and you can tackle adult themes in animation. And
literally Monster that we're watching, even though I watched it while I was a kid because I'm a weirdo.
Still watching Monster.
There's the themes there are not kid-like at all. Berserk's not for kids. Like Afro Samurai is not for kids. Like there's. I
Maybe
think
that's
people
the
are
thing. We need more. Is it seinen?
seinen. There's a lot of seinen. It's just not as popular.
Like, do you think they're still coming out with a lot of seinen compared to back then? Like,
yeah, but it's just not as deep.
Like, what's the show that's
real.
like Evangelion that's come out in the past? Like,
there's not going to be any. Well, I'm not gonna say there's not gonna be any, but there's not gonna be an influx of it. Like back then, you still had your shonen. Shonen's always gonna be number one in my opinion, just because it's the most marketable, whether people want to admit it or not. Most of the time, guys are the ones that are. There are a lot of girls that also indulge in anime, but most of the time it's guys. That's why, and again, and this isn't towards anybody or anything, I think that shonen just usually writes their stories better than shoujo does. And I watch shoujo anime. Sailor Moon is one of my favorite anime of all time. And yeah, I believe that Sailor Moon is better than some shonen anime, but I just think in general, like, it's just easily marketable because it's more hype moments. You can't really get hype about some girl crush on a guy. Maybe some girls can, but for the general consensus, they can't. But like a guy that has an underdog story like Izuku Midoriya or something like that, and
so
My Hero could be.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but shonen anime, the protagonist doesn't necessarily have to be a boy, does it?
No.
Okay.
Madaka Box is a shonen. Was a part of weekly Shonen Jump Weekly, and the main character is a girl, Madaka.
So would a Witch Hat Atelier you think would be considered a shonen?
I haven't seen it yet.
Fair.
So
this entire time I always thought that shonen had to have like a boy as a protagonist, but it doesn't. So there could be female artists.
Have you seen Yona of the Dawn?
No.
No.
So,
okay. Have you seen Fairy Tail?
Yes.
The main character is Lucy. I'm not trolling.
Right. She has a decent amount of screen time, but like.
Well, she's damn near always on the screen. She's just not really fighting.
I was not watching it for Lucy. I promise you that.
But
some people were.
But what I'm saying is, like, in that story, Lucy, the story follows a girl that wants to become a member of the Fairy Tail Guild. And she didn't necessarily want to be a wizard at first. She wanted to be like she just wanted to be affiliated with the guild, and they had like super modeling jobs. Like everybody that's in the guild isn't fighters. She just happened to meet somebody that was in the guild that happened to only fight, which is Natsu. That's all the nigga does is throw hands and eat food.
I just want to see him throw hands and eat fire.
She gets stuck with whatever he does, and all he wants to do is fight. So now she's stuck in situations with him fighting. But a lot of people misconstrue him as the main. He's not even the main. Watch episode 1 again. It starts off of you're in Lucy's perspective.
I do remember that.
Even it's the same thing with Eden Zero. Rebecca's the main character, not Shiki.
That's hilarious.
Literally, you've seen Rebecca's the main character.
Yeah,
it's her story. It's just that the person she hangs out with is always trying to scrap with somebody. Both of those are shonen shows.
Nowhere near as popular but
it's debatable. Fairy Tail's a extremely popular show.
Fairy Tail was extremely popular. I was referring to more so Eden Zero.
Yeah, but just examples. Madaka Box is more of an example because it was published by Shonen Jump, the same people that published One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh, Naruto, Dragon Ball, all of that. But Madaka Box, and she was the one that was fighting with the people.
So let that be a lesson. Y'all female authors, you can also create shonen stories and try to at least create the mangas, because I'll read them, I promise you. Just make some good stories with female protagonists. I promise you I'll read it. Now, as to whether or not some of these animation companies will do it, I don't know what the dynamics are like whenever you're trying to get that done in Japan, but.
That's Kuro. 4. His game.
Oh.
Going to the same exact spot that we were last time.
Okay, bet.
But that's, I guess you could say that's the main, what do you call it? Like, yes, there can be a little bit more diversity, but at the same exact time, I could argue that they have the most diversity. Like, y'all let us know in the comments, other than Sinners, when was the last time like a great movie came out that wasn't a continuation of something else? So no, I don't want to hear Avengers or something, because that's a part of a series, even though it's good movies, or even like the Hunger Games. Like, it's a part of a series. When's the last time a standalone movie was really that good? And then we'll talk about it from there. I feel like, other than Sinners, I haven't seen anything come onto the scene and blow up like Sinners has in a minute.
And to get that done, I believe, what was his name? The director of that, he had to like separate himself from whatever organization he was a part of to actually get that done. which in my opinion further agrees with the idea that commercializing to the point where all you're doing is making sure that you're safely releasing certain stories that follow
creativity.
Yeah, because they're just following a pattern.
You don't want to take a chance on it, so you just go with whatever you've seen already. It sucks, but there are people like that.
But like you said, let us know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, definitely subscribe, and let us know if you thought we were just way off, or let us know if you think we had a point, and maybe we should talk more about hell, maybe we'll make a video talking about our top 5 or top 10 stories. Well, I think just female protagonists in general. Because I think people have this idea that there aren't good stories with female protagonists, but I beg to differ.
There is, but you just gotta watch. It's just not as famous, unfortunately, which kind of sucks, but